quick example of where I was in Dollarama recently, and I was putting it together into. I wasn't even putting it into my bag. I was just sort of organizing myself a little bit, and I thought, oh, this lady with a cart behind me. I said, I guess I can organize it over here. So I go just a little bit ahead to organize, and she wanted to put her cart right where I was. So I go, oh, I'm sorry, I'm in your way here. I'm going to shift over here. There was no thank you, and I realized that she was in a higher socioeconomic bracket than I was. Most of the people that use Dollarama downtown are using it the same way as the store that was there before, which was the, what's the name of that store that used to be there? It was another budget store that had some groceries and stuff like that, and people were buying their groceries because there was no other grocery store around. Right. And also, what I guess other people are making the same assessment as I am, and that is that, do I spend $5 or $6 or $7, whatever it is, 2 tickets to go somewhere and then come back again to grocery shop, at one of the far-flung grocery stores? Or do I buy this stuff at a higher price at Dollarama or somewhere? And the Dollarama stuff isn't that expensive, but it's not that great, not that broad. And but that said, there are people that have to. They can only.
fade out, wash out, let it through. Black man, white man, or maybe someone just like you. Wake up, come alive, you know we're all gonna breathe. If you wanna mess it up, then don't bother listening to me. No, no. You don't seem to understand. You're the reason for malice in Wonderland. .7 Sound FM. That is Pace Ashton Lord, a Deep Purple offshoot band, one and only album called Malice in Wonderland, and that's the title cut from that album in 1977. The band made up of Ian Pace, drummer for Deep Purple, John Lord, the keyboard player, the late great Tony Ashton, and the singer, and they also had Bernie Marsden, who was later in early incarnations of Whitesnake, on guitar, and Paul Martinez on bass. Pace Ashton Lord, album's called Malice in Wonderland. And I can remember seeing that in Salmon Record Band in Toronto many moons ago, probably around 1977. I never got it, and should have. I'm getting some sound here. And anyhow, hold on a second, folks. All right, just was having some sound effects coming into my ears here. Okay, so yeah, and I never got it then, but I later bought it on CD, and it's a terrific album. It's kind of funky, kind of hard rock. It's an interesting offshoot from Deep Purple, but they only did the one album, and then Pace and Lord wound up joining Whitesnake eventually, and then later on Deep Purple reformed, etc., etc. So that kicks us off here on the Sold It's New show, Old Bands, Old Tracks, Old Bands are New Stuff, and I'm going to play some early Deep Purple from the Mark I lineup later in the show. Yeah, so we're here till 10 p.m., 8 to 10 p.m. every Monday night. Sold It's New, Old Bands, Old Tracks, Old Bands are New Stuff, if they're still around, alive, and kicking. Here's a guy I saw, and we're on 102.7, of course, and channel 946 on Rogers Cable, Waterloo Region. And listen live at radiowaterloo.ca, and looks like we've got the YouTube feed going tonight, so you can watch us on the YouTube channel as well, and listen. And I usually post the shows after sometime after my shows. Generally not the very next day, because sometimes we have some copyright issues with playing some of the music in terms of the record company claims, but we will get it up there when it's funny. I just posted last week's show today, just as I came into the studio. Anyhow, here is some spoken word type psychedelia from Eric Burdon and the Animals from 1967. This is the second version of the Animals. The first one, of course, just called the Animals, and then they went psychedelic with Eric Burdon and the Animals. This is the Black Plague at Sound FM.
The bell tolls. The black plague has struck, and diseased eyes roll upwards, as if knowing which direction their souls will travel.
Bring out your dead.
A woman in black cries as the deathly procession passes by, and monks moan in mass. The yet clean peasant pounds upon the castle door, for it is safer inside the walls. Their knocking pounds a dull tone across the quiet, deserted courtyard. The bodies of unfortunates bloat in the hot sun outside the castle walls, and ones ignorant of all facts plunder the diseased corpses for remaining riches.
Bring out your dead.
And the bell tolls on. A man walks round the castle walls on the outside, the light from his lamp dancing shadows as he moves. He tends the sick, gives comfort to all he can for dying woman and crying man, but he feels it most for the children.
Unclean.
Tears glisten on his cheek. Did man ever deserve this death? And not all will die, just the poor, for the rich are inside the castle walls. And he knows he could be with them, and they'll laugh at this fool of a man through the stone fortress windows. And the bell tolls on.
Unclean.
And many deaths and many days later, many tears have been cried, but all in vain. For tears can never erase the pain of death. Only time has that talent. His hands are now blistered, but this man walks on. The only element of sanity, the people look to him for answers, and he answers all. And the bell tolls on inside the castle wall.
Bring out your dead.
The dead are now buried, and the plague is at its end. Life for the people flowers again. They breathe fresh air like they did once before. And there is not a sound from beyond the castle walls. The bell has stopped, and only silence is heard. And the peasants outside wonder what happened within. In their bones they feel something is wrong, The bell has been silent much too long. For many days, not one soul has stirred from the stone fortress where the rich people live. No one came and no one went. Fear can do many strange things, and even though water ran low, their mouths burnt and bellies caked dry, not one person put a foot outside. No one had that much courage. For they feared the peasants and their world outside, so they played it safe and didn't move. But one by one perished and died.
they're bound to bring you down. You gotta make it through the world if you can. Well, I think they're doing you wrong, but you got here on your own. You gotta make it through the world if you can. I said if you can, if you can. You gotta make it through the world if you can. I said if you can, Lord, if you can, Lord, you gotta make it through the world if you can. Well, you know without a doubt, nobody know you when you're down and out. You gotta make it through the world if you can. Well, talk about wrong and right. You gotta make up your own mind. You gotta make it through the world if you can. I said if you can, Lord, if you can, you gotta make it through the world if you can. I said if you can, yeah, if you can, you gotta make it through the world if you can. Now let them take you for a clown. They will surely put you down. You gotta make it through the world if you can. Everybody talking about it wrong and right. You gotta make up your own mind about it. You gotta make it through the world if you can. Lord, if you can, yeah, if you can, you gotta make it through the world if you can. Yeah, if you can, if you can, you gotta make it through the world if you can. Yeah, I said if you can, Lord, if you can, you gotta make it through the world if you can. I said you gotta make it through the world if you can. I said you gotta make it through the world if you can. I said you gotta make it through the world if you can. You gotta make it through the world if you can. Make it through the world. 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 You gotta make it through the world.
Van de Man Morrison with "You Got to Make It Through the World" from 1977's "A Period of Transition." He had not released an album in 3 years up to that point. Vide and Fleece was the one prior to that one in '74. This one was somewhat disappointing commercially and critically, but I like it. I like everything Van Morrison does pretty much. Anyway, "You Got to Make It Through the World," which is perhaps a theme song for current events. Started the set with what did we start the set with? We had Burden and the Animals with "The Black Plague," and then I messed up the mix into Patti Smith Group's "Ghost Dance." Would have been good, but anyway, I effed up. And then we had Van de Man Morrison with "You Gotta Make It Through the World." Okay, here is this is from back in the 70s. Funkadelic. Great band. Funky and rocky. George Clinton. He did Parliament and Funkadelic. This is Funkadelic from Free Your Mind and Your Ass Will Follow album, and this is the great Eddie Hazel on guitar, the late great I Want to Know If It's Good For You, and then some more amazing guitar from Terry Kath of Chicago from the first Chicago album, Chicago Transit Authority. Gonna play Poem 58. So here is Chicago, and then Funkadelic, and then Chicago, and I've got a request for Brave Belt, Too Far Away, from the early incarnation of Bachman Turner Overdrive. So we've got Funkadelic, Chicago, and then Brave Belt coming at you here at Sound FM.
I wanna know if it's good to you, baby, when you do what you do to me. I know that it must have been good to you, baby, 'cause it sure been good to me. I don't know what you've been doing, but it's got my whole world grooving. Stationary things keep moving, 'cause you said you'd blow my mind through sugar cane. You make my heart beat sweeter than the honey that's replaced the rain since I met you. I wanna know if it's good to you, baby, when you do what you do to me. I know that it must have been good to you, baby, 'cause it sure been good to me.
Find a time, change your mind, listen to my song. Needing you, reaching you, waiting much too long. Find a time, change your mind, listen to my song. Needing you, reaching you, waiting much too long. Changing reasons I'm not sure of. Needing answers for direction. Singing right full of the roses. Praying nightly for protection. Too far away. Too far away. Too far away. Too far away. Too far away, too far away, too far away, too far Find the time, change your mind, listen to my song. Needing you, reaching you, waiting much too long. Darkness always turns to daylight. Daylight always turns to darkness. I need something to hold on to. I need something to let go of. Too far away. Too far away. Too far away. Too far away.
One 102.7 Sound FM, that is Brave Belt, precursor band to Bachman Turner Overdrive, and that is from 1972, track called Too Far Away, the lead cut on Brave Belt 2, and that goes out to by request to John in Woodstock, who requested it, and I must say that it's a special request, or at least John is a special guy, because he contributed $100 to our fundraising drive, which ended end of last week. Or no, end of 2 weeks ago. The CKMS Sound FM funding drive for another year is in the books, and John from Woodstock contributed $100, and all he wanted for it, the contribution was for me to play Brave Belt. Too Far Away, the band formed by Randy Bachman and Chad Allen, who was in the original Guess Who, of course, and other members included Alan left, and then just as he left the Guess Who, when Burton Cummings came in, and CF, aka Fred Turner, came in and sang vocals, and so the lineup on that was Chad Allen played on a couple tracks on the Brave Belt 2, and then Bachman on guitar, Fred Turner on bass and lead vocals, Robbie Bachman playing drums, and Tim Bachman helped them out on tour. And then what happened was they, so that was 72, and then they started putting together a third album. It was going to be called Brave Belt 3, but they decided to the record company and discussions and so on, they decided to make that the first BTO album. So Brave Belt 3 really morphed into the first self-titled Bachman Turner Overdrive album that came out in '73. So that is Brave Belt with Far Away by request. Started the set with Funkadelic with some great guitar work, as always, by the late great Eddie Hazel. I Want to Know If It's Good to You. And then Chicago with some more amazing guitar work from Terry Kath from the very first Chicago album, Chicago Transit Authority, with Poem 58, almost like a half instrumental track and then half with vocals, and just the amazing guitar by Terry Kath. And then we had the Brave Belt track, Too Far Away. All right. Spencer Davis died back in October of pneumonia. He was 81. Of course, he was in the formed and was the name guy in the Spencer Davis group, which of course featured Stevie Winwood on vocals, and Winwood's brother was also in the band, Muff Winwood. You know, I was going over the Spencer Davis group. They had Dee Murray, who was later in Elton John's band, was in it. Bass player, and also Nigel Olsson on drums. And the interesting thing with the Spencer Davis group is they weren't releasing a lot of new stuff in recent years, but they were still touring in North America and in Britain. And Spencer Davis himself would front the band, and they had different bands for the UK version and or the UK dates and the American dates, I guess, travel and so on. But interesting, and of course he passed away, like I said, end of October. But here is a track that was #1 in the UK for the Spencer Davis group, who are of course known for I'm a Man and what's the other big one? Let's just dig that out for you. I'm a Man is the big one, which Chicago did actually on the Chicago Transit Authority album. But this one was #1 in the UK, and you'll recognize it. And it was top 60 or 70 in the United States and North America. Anyway, Keep On Running from Spencer Davis Group at Sound FM.
Baby, been a long, long time. Been a long, long time. Been a long, long time. I was wronger, and you were right. Baby, took a long, long while. Took a long, long while. Took a long, long while. But I found out you were right. Still you have those happy eyes. I will try and apologize. Baby, still the same old smile. Still the same old smile. Still the same old smile. I was so wrong, and you were right. Still you have those happy eyes. Yeah. I'm gonna try and apologize. Oh, baby, been a long, long time. Been a long, long time. Been a long, long time. I was wrong, girl, and you were right. Oh, baby, won't you change your mind? Won't you change your mind? Won't you change your mind? I was wrong, girl, but not this. No, I said, baby, it's been a long, long time. It's been such a long, long
town. Said way back in the east. Tupelo, Mississippi. One Friday evening, a dark cloud rose. Started raining. It rained and it rained. Both night and day. The people of Tupelo began to get worried. Said, Lord have mercy. Who can be turned to now? Women and children screaming and crying. Saying, Lord have mercy. What can we do now? I never will forget that day. Little town, Tupelo, Mississippi. It rained both night and day. The people of Tupelo have one to turn to. It rained all night and day. Rain all night and day. Mm-hmm.
He loves to drive him crazy with his evil lips. Great guns are blazing. My deadly trip. Yeah, born in no family, born in no creed. Yeah, raised by a jackal and raised the bad seed. You better look around before you hit the ground. Give me no quarter, that's all fine. Like a devil on a deadline, gonna send you down. Demon fire, it's all you desire. Demon fire, it's gonna set fire. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Sinking all power, gonna hunt you down. the bad intentions. Gonna send you down. Demon fire is all you desire. Demon fire, explosive fire. Demon fire, flames burn higher. Demon fire, it's now and hellfire.
One hundred 2.7 Sound FM. I like doing that. I played the John Lee Hooker song, just him and his guitar with Topilo from 1993, the version of that track, and then Hitting You Hard with AC/DC with Demon Fire from their new album Power Up. Came out last Friday. It's a terrific album. And the boys are back. Brian Johnson back on lead vocals, Cliff Williams back on bass, Phil Rudd back behind the drum kit, Stevie Young on rhythm guitar, and of course Angus on Stevie Young from the Young family, nephew I believe, and of course Angus on lead guitar, and that was Demons. Can't even remember the song name right now. Demon Fire, which to me sounds very much like the riff, at least parts of it sounds very much like Safe in New York City from Stiff Upper Lip, the 2000 album from AC/DC. So Angus recycling some stuff there, and actually the album is kind of recycled stuff. Angus and Malcolm, who passed away, had dementia. That's what Angus did. He went back through the leftovers and other tracks that they had done over the years, and use that at least as the basis of the new album Power Up. And the boys are back, and do we ever need a strong AC/DC album, given all that's going on in the world? And they have delivered. Now we'll just have to have them tour if that ever happens again. Okay, so we started the set with the Spencer Davis Group, and Give Me Some Lovin' is the track I just couldn't get out of my brain. The well-known track, Give Me Some Lovin', and from the Spencer Davis Group, that was a big hit all over the place. And then I'm a Man, which I mentioned that Chicago did, that I played in the previous set on Chicago's first album. But I just couldn't get it, just had a brain cramp trying to think of Give Me Some Lovin'. But started the set with not that track, but a song that was #1 in England for the Spencer Davis Group. Made the top 70 or so here in North America, or at least in the States. Keep On Running. And actually quite a well-known tune. And then Long, Long While from the Rolling Stones. One of those rare early Stones tracks where Mick Jagger is writing and singing and apologizing to a woman instead of trashing her. Long, Long While from the Stones, and then John Lee Hooker with Topilo, and then AC/DC with Demon Fire. Terrific new track from a terrific new album, Power Up by AC/DC. Okay, we started the set with, and the show with Malice in Wonderland, a track, the title cut from the Pace Ashton Lord album in 1977. We're going to go, as promised, way back into the Deep Purple history book, and this is from the third album by the original incarnation of the band. It was just called Deep Purple, and the first one was called Shades of, and then the Book of Taliesin. This is Deep Purple with Richie Blackmore, of course, John Lord on drums, and Ian Pace on drums, John Lord on keyboards and organ, and but they had Nick Simper on bass and Rod Evans on vocals. And then, of course, after 3 albums, they reconfigured the band, brought in Ian Gillan and Roger Clever. And that's the Mark II and probably the most renowned version of Deep Purple, although I still, as I've mentioned many times, I love Deep Purple and I love all the incarnations. I love the current one with Steve Morse. But this one, it's interesting when the more I listen to, over the years, the more I've listened to the Mark I version of Deep Purple. More psychedelic type band, but the more I like it. And here's a track from the 3rd album called Deep Purple with Bird Has Flown, and then solo work from Arthur Lee of Love fame coming up, very Hendrix-like, from 1972, a track called Love Jumped Through My Window. Here is Deep Purple first at Sound FM.
Love jumped through my window last night and left the pain in my heart. My feet just won't forget it. I better quit it. 'Cause love jumped through my window last night. Last night, love jumped through my window, baby, with a feeling I never felt before. But I wanna know, yeah. And when it jumped, you know it jumping so crazy. But oh, I just had to go, 'cause I wanted to know. Love jumped through my window last night and left the pain in my heart. Well, my feet just won't forget it. I better quit it. 'Cause love jumped through my window last night. Every touch is measured out. Every word is written down. Sunny skies are seldom seen in the land of few and far between. And everybody wears a frown. Someone lost their squirting rose. There's his red nose on the ground.
No one's seen his painted smile. He's been gone for quite a while. Something bad happened to a clown. Something bad happened to a clown. He used to honk his horn and everyone would laugh. He used to honk his horn. She doesn't think he's very funny anymore. Footprints in the sawdust leading to the edge of town. Something bad happened to a clown. Something bad happened to a clown. He used to honk his horn and everyone would laugh. He used to honk his horn. She doesn't think he's very funny anymore. Footprints in the sawdust leading to the edge of town. Something bad happened to a clown. 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 Something bad happened.
102.7 Sound FM, that is Warren Zevon from his Mutineer album in 1995, Something Bad Happened to a Clown, with a rare guitar solo by the man himself within. Warren Zevon at Sound FM. He's the kind of guy who I've been with ever since Werewolves in London, and then I went back. That was his breakthrough song and album, Excitable Boy. Went back for the, how many albums did he have before that? Couple? And then I followed him ever since. He was not a big hit maker, but a great musician, great songwriter, great stuff. Those who know him loved him, and he always got great guys to play on his albums too. Waddy Wachtel, of course, who has done some work with Keith Richards and the Expensive Winos, and on this album, Bruce Hornsby played. A lot of sort of the California crew, also of session musicians, Eagles and so forth. Warren Zevon with Something Bad Happened to a Clown. Started the set with Deep Purple, Bird Has Flown, from the third album, simply titled Deep Purple, the third album and overall, and the third and final one of the Mark I version of Deep Purple with Rod Evans and Nick Simper. And then we had Arthur Lee of Love with a track called Love Jumped Through My Window, a very Hendrixy album he did in 1972. They were friends. It's called Vindicator, Arthur Lee. They did nothing commercially, but it's a pretty good album. I like Love, and I love Arthur Lee's work. Another one of those artists who left us too early. And then we had the Warren Zevon track, Something Real Happened, or Something Bad Happened to a Clown. Okay, earlier tonight I played Poem 58 from Chicago, from the very first album, Chicago Transit Authority, with the amazing guitar worker Terry Kath, who was playing with a gun and accidentally, the story goes, shot himself. And then Paul Simon, years later, a track called from his Hearts and Bones album in 1980, which was not very successful commercially, actually. It followed the One Trick Pony album, which had the great single Late in the Evening. But it's a good album, very personal kind of album. And this is a track called The Late Great Johnny Ace, who, like Kath, was playing with guns and died in 1954, an R&B singer. Died in 1954 of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was playing with a gun, same thing as Kath. The story goes, said the gun was unloaded, thought the gun was unloaded. It wasn't, and hence Paul Simon with The Late Great Johnny Ace, and then some American prog coming up with Kansas the Pinnacle. Here is Paul Simon at Sound FM.
I was reading a magazine and thinking of a rock and roll song. The year was 1954, and I hadn't been playing that long when a man came on the radio, and this is what he said. He said, I hate to break it to his fans, but Johnny Ace is dead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I really wasn't such a Johnny Ace fan, but I felt bad all the same. So I sent away for his photograph, and I waited till it came. It came all the way from Texas, with a sad and simple face. And they signed it on the bottom, from the late great Johnny Ace. Yeah, yeah, It was the year of the Beatles, it was the year of the Stones. It was 1964. I was living in London with the girl from the song before. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was the year of the Beatles, it was the year of the Stones. A year after JFK, we were staying up all night and giving the days away. And the music was flowing, amazing and blowing my way. On a cold December evening, I was walking through the Christmas time when a stranger came up and asked me if I had heard John Lennon die. And the two of us went to this bar, and we stayed to close the place. And every song we played was for the late great Johnny Ace.
have so much to say, and yet I cannot speak. Come and do my bidding now, for I have grown too weak. My weary eyes have seen all that life can give. Come to me, oh young one, for you I can forgive. I stood where no man goes, and conquered demon foes. With glory and passion, no longer in fashion, the hero breaks his blade, casts the shadow long, that I may hide my face. And in this cloak of darkness, the world I will embrace. In all that I endure, of one thing I am sure: knowledge and reason change like the season, a jester's promenade. Lying at my feet, I see the offering you bring. The mark of pain is on our faces, born of suffering. Oh, I long to hear you say it's not been wrong. I stand before you now, a riddle in my
Lines on your face don't bother me. Down in my chair when you dance over me, I can't help myself. I've got to see you again. Late in the night when I'm all alone, and I look at the clock and I know you're not home, I can't help myself. I've got to see you again. I could almost go there just to watch you be seen. I could almost go there just to live in a dream. But no, I won't go for any of those things. To not touch your skin is not why I sing. I can't help myself. I've got to see you again. I could almost go there just to watch you be seen. I could almost go there just to live in a dream. No, I won't go to share you with them. But oh, even though I know where you've been, I can't help myself. I've got to see you again. Oh, I can't help myself. I've got to see you again.
That's a beautiful voice of Nora Jones from her debut solo album, Come Away With Me, back in 2002, and that goes out to Tammy. Not a request really, but she's a friend of mine, and she got me the album some years ago, and I wasn't really into Nora Jones, but I've come to enjoy her work, and thanks to Tammy, so that goes out to Tammy. Nora Jones here at Sound FM with I've Got to See You Again. And as I was telling Tammy on Facebook before I played the track, we do have to get together again at some point. So anyway, friend of mine, that goes out to Tammy here at Sound FM. Kansas started the set with The Pinnacle from the Mask album many moons ago, before Kansas broke into the public consciousness with Carry On Wayward Son and Dust in the Wind. But if you think of those two tracks as being Kansas, it's much more. There's much more depth to their catalog and their work. as I said before the track, basically an American prog band, and a track called The Pinnacle. Then we had Nora Jones. Okay, speaking of prog, Jethro Tull, they're always classified as a prog band, I guess because of Thick as a Brick and A Passion Play, but and there are prog elements, of course. But I don't know. I love Jethro Tull. They're one of my favorite bands. I just think they're an amazingly eclectic band. Sure, there's some prog elements and so on, but I don't really seem to myself. I don't put them in the category of say Yes or early Genesis or Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I just call them good. And here's a long track called Dark Ages from their 1979 album Stormwatch. And then we're going to try to get in some Bloodwind Pig, which is the band that Mick Abrahams formed after he left Jethro Tull after the first album This Was, because he wanted to continue in the blues direction. Ian Anderson didn't. So Abrahams formed Bloodwind Pig. Going to play a track from the first Bloodwind Pig album, but here is Jethro Tull first at Sound FM.
Darlings, are you ready for the long winter's fall? Set the lady in her parlor, set the butler in the hall. There's a time for another, cried the drunkard in his sleep. Not likely send a little child. What's done the Lord can keep. And the vicar stands a-praying, and the television dies as the white dot flickers and is gone, and no one stops to cry. Rumbles of around miles, the scarlet patchwork green, which the tycoons and rich buffoons have opened up the seam of golden nights and champagne flights at an overkill. And in the haze, consumer craze, we take the sugar pill. Shaking the dance, those babies, the band of red, Darlings, are you ready for the long winter's fall? Set the lady in her parlor, set the butler in the hall. Shaking the dance, close, pages, a pattern of reds, cold rages, and they burn in your heads.
Uh, 102.7 Sound FM, that is Jethro Tull from the Stormwatch album in 79 with Dark Ages, long track from the boys and Jethro Tull, Ian Anderson and the boys, and I do like it. It's Stormwatch was the last of what's considered the sort of folk rock albums by Tull. It started with Songs from the Wood and then Heavy Horses, 77, 78, and 79, and Stormwatch was probably the least commercially successful one of the three, but it is Tull and it is fantastic stuff. And as I mentioned before the track, they are one of my favorite bands. John Glasscock, the bass player, he had a cardiac issue and then later died. So Ian Anderson played bass on a lot of the album. Stormwatch, just as information. Okay, and we're going to play, I was going to mention, before, we're going to play Bloodwind Pig, which was the band that came out of Jethro Tull in terms of Mick Abrahams, the guitar player on the first Tull album. This was, in 68, he wanted to keep going in a blues direction, and as I mentioned, Ian Anderson did not. They had a falling out, and so Abrahams left, and formed Bloodwind Pig. What a great name for a band. And in 1969, and they did two albums, A Head Rings Out and then Getting to This, and then they had some various incarnations of the band, including without Abrahams, later on touring and so on. But they have two studio albums proper, A Head Rings Out and Getting to This, and this is a track from the first one, A Head Rings Out. It's actually on an expanded version. It wasn't originally on the album. It was a single called Walk on the Water. So Bloodwind Pig is going to close us out tonight as I take my leave of you here. This is Bald Boy signing off. DJ Mason is next with his Cluster Falcon show from 10 to midnight. And so here's Bloodwind Pig. Thanks for listening here at 102.7. We'll see you next week.
When you'll have to pay. It's been a good day. See what you done. Stole a man and walks on the water. As he cried for you, how'd you like it? If I did the same to your son and your daughter. what you're doing and just think about the man. Yeah, it's been a good day.
Hear the little song I wrote. My drummer sing it note for note. Don't worry,